This podcast is part of the Pathological Nerdcasters Network. Find more at pncn.rocks, where all the geeks come to play.
Yeah, but they're... You're breaking anymore.
Hello, and welcome to the Botch Games Podcast. This is episode number 53. Done this 53 whole times. This is Craig, your host. I am here for the little intro, and you're just going to have to deal with it. We have a lot going on in this episode, but sadly, it's a little bit spacey because Tyler and I have our own little segment talking about the games that we played, and the reason why that is because Erin has a topic that she wanted to talk about this episode. So he split us up. Erin and I do our own little played section, and then we finish out with the topic, and that's all coming later. There are a few things that I want to talk about first, though, so you're going to have to suffer through me for a bit. First off, this episode's a couple days late. Just going to say it right now. Throwing this in because the episode's a couple days late. We are still getting life back together after the death of Erin's grandmother and all of the things that had to be taken care of after that happened. And then Tyler's in marching band, and that has had us crazy busy for a good majority of the summer. And we're also preparing for vacation, and we leave in just a couple days. But good news is that along with episode number 53, episode number 54 is already recorded. So whenever I get back from vacation, it's just going to go up and it'll be actually on time. Believe it or not, you're welcome. Look at all the things that I do for you. Also, sometime next week, there will be another installment of the new 100. I've recorded 6 through 10. Somehow I'll get it uploaded. I don't know how. I mean, it'll be uploaded. Hopefully I'll be able to access it while I'm on vacation and get it up and ready and online and ready to go. So fingers crossed, you guys will have a new episode of New 100 next week. This episode, as I said, has no real game in specific. We do talk about a ton of games that we've played, especially with CraigCon, which, hey, my birthday happened. And we had an all-day 24-hour gaming event that everyone has lovingly started referring to as CraigCon. We had approximately a dozen people in and out throughout the day. We got a lot of games played. I got some of my birthday games played. It's just an all-around good time, and it looks like we might do this every year, and Erin even said that we should do it a couple times a year just for funsies. So looking forward to bigger and better gaming events in my little group to bring more people together. Our group's been growing quite a bit, and it's been a lot of fun. So with that being said, let's talk about some things that have been on my mind. First off, the summer's a little weird because the job that I've had for the last 17 years is going to be ending soon, and I have no idea what I'm going to do next with my life. This is terrifying. But I have a degree that I finished. If you've been a long-time listener, you know that I finished an English degree and somehow have to find something to do with that, even though I live in Youngstown, Ohio, and there's just nothing anywhere around here that would use an English degree. I don't know, freelance? Any game companies out there want to hire me to do editing? I don't know. Something. I got to find something. So that's been a giant stress. That's made life around here a bit nervous, a bit awkward, and nights where we were supposed to have game nights have just turned into job searching nights. So that's been great. Secondly, as you've noticed with the podcast, Will just hasn't been around much lately. He took on a new position, which is tying him up quite a bit of his time to where he's working about 60 hours a week. Just got a new place and is getting all settled in there, and I just don't see him. I just don't see him as much as I used to. So I'm leaving it to you, dear listener, to let me know what I should do moving forward. Should I look for another co-host? Should I expand the sections with Erin and Tyler? Should I just close up shop? I don't know. I don't know. We'll go into that in a second. But I've had 2 offers for people to jump in and co-host, but they are online distance co-hosts, which means that we wouldn't be able to get games played together. And I don't know if that'll make the show suffer because we'll be not necessarily talking about the same games. It'll be a even weirder format than what I already have. So just, I don't know, let me know what you think. Hop on the guild, guild number 2197 on BGG, and let me know your thoughts, or send me a tweet. botchgames1@gmail.com. That's probably a really good way. Just email me some thoughts on what you think about the show and what I should do moving forward, because I don't know. I'm here for you guys. Which brings me to my next point. The show's numbers are not great. I mean, Steve, you're my only listener, and I don't know what I could do to promote the show any better. I'm pretty active on Twitter and Instagram, and not so active on the guild, but it doesn't seem like anything I do on BGG helps. So I just don't know how to become more visible. I have some iTunes reviews, but I'm not going to go out begging people for iTunes reviews. That's not the way we operate around here. I don't know that we're having the impact on the community to make my time dedication justifiable. So I need to figure out how to get the show out there a little bit more, what I can do to promote the show a little bit more. I've done some interviews, as you've heard, with the Botch Conversation episodes that, because I'm so small of a show, haven't even really been promoted by the people that were on the show, which is kind of frustrating. So I don't know. I don't know what to do to make the show better, or even if I should continue, because the numbers don't seem to be, the numbers have hit a plateau that I'm not very happy with. Let's put it that way. I won't go into specifics, but I've hit a number that I'm not very happy with. I don't know. You tell me, dear listener, should I even continue? What am I offering to your podcast listening experience that is making it worth me staying on the air? Because I'm still having fun, but this takes a lot of time. This takes a lot of money and a lot of effort, and I just don't know if the numbers are proving that I should keep doing this. And I know it's not all about numbers, and it's not all about, getting bigger, but like I said, there's a time and money commitment to it that should at some point be justified. So I guess the first step is, hey, if you're a listener and you're a fan, tell a friend to check out the show. Let's see if we can get some more listeners. Let's see if we can get some more feedback to see what I can do, what the show can do to be more facilitating to new listeners, what I can do to promote the show to gain new listeners. Just let me know what you think, because I guess you can say that with this whole job situation, I've been super down about everything lately, and one of the main things that I'm super down about is the show, which is weird to say because I should be more down about not knowing where I'm going to work. But I've been super down about the show because I put in a lot of work and a lot of hard work and do a lot of lining things up and playing games and buying games and scheduling interviews, and it just doesn't seem like it's paying off. That's all. That's my next to last beef, I guess. Because my last beef is, oh my gosh, people. One of my favorite designers out there that many of you know is Uwe Rosenberg. And as an English major, as a person who is driven absolutely crazy when people spell things wrong or forget commas or pronounce things ridiculously, it drives me absolutely crazy when everybody starts calling UWE, which in German, a W is pronounced like a V, when they start calling Uwe, Uwe, or Uwe. So, to make a long story short, back in the day in high school, we had exchange students that lived with my parents. So I reached out to one of my German sisters and said, hey, driving me crazy, Americans can't pronounce anything. Would you do me a favor and let me know how to pronounce Mr. Rosenberg's name? So now I'm going to play a sound clip for you, which is from the German tongue, exactly how to pronounce Mr. Rosenberg's name. So let's all try and remember. You ready?
Uwe Rosenberg.
Got that? One more time. Here we go. Hey, listen up.
Uwe Rosenberg.
It's almost like I hired a voice actor to do it. But yeah, that's my dear German sister, Jantje. It is Uwe Rosenberg. Uwe. W's are pronounced like V's. Let's do it. We can do this, people. We can make ourselves more worldwide correct. We can do it. Let's do it together. Lastly, Gen Con was last week. I didn't make it. I got super sad about halfway through Gen Con that I wasn't there, because everybody was hanging out and having a good time. I have a lot of friends online that I've talked to for these almost 2 years and hung out with at Origins and Gen Con last year, and I really missed them this year. So I don't think that I can miss Gen Con next year, because it was just super sad seeing everybody hanging out and having a good time. I don't know, is it an inclusion that I felt like I wasn't included? I don't know, but I just missed everyone. I missed all of you. Anybody out there who's listening, who we've hung out together at conventions before, and we're Twitter friends, and we, whatever, I missed you. I missed hanging out with you and playing games. And that's all. So that's it. This intro's done. Let's get past the depressing and past pissy Craig and past down Craig, and let's go on to some happy things. Let's go on to some games, because there's all the games. And Vast is going to show up at my house on Friday. So there's the first mention of Vast this episode. And with that, we'll be back with Tyler and me to talk about what we've played over the past month. Month. Be right back. So Tyler,
Yes.
how are you today?
Terrific.
Are you?
Could say.
Are you?
For sure.
Are you having a good summer so far?
No.
Why?
Marching band.
Are you not enjoying marching band?
My feet.
Oh my gosh. Heaven forbid, you should have to move around a little bit.
It's not like I sit on my chair all day and play video games. It's the truth. So, games
Games?
that I've played this week.
And we're, like you said, you're in marching band, which has just made our nights craziness.
Yeah.
Which is why it's just you and me on the mics right now.
Yes.
Which is why it is, you and me on the mics.
You and I.
Nope. No, because you can't say it's just I on the mics. You would have to say it's just me on the mics.
But then there would be 2 mics and you would be on both of them.
No.
So, games that I've played.
Yeah. Well, first off, let's say
Okay.
that CraigCon happened,
CraigCon did happen.
which was a celebration of
Your birthday.
my birthday.
Your birthday.
And we played tons of games.
Tons of games.
Did you have a good time?
Yes, I did. Even though I started to get a headache at the end, still pushed through and got through CraigCon.
And you played
The
from
one-day con.
Yes, and you played from the beginning.
Uh-huh.
And you even had a friend over.
I did.
So let's talk about that real quick. Who'd you have over?
Little Alex.
Little Alex, who goes to school with you and
Yes.
lives right by you, or right by
My
your mom's
mom's
house.
house.
Yeah,
My mom's mouse.
your mom's mouse. And I don't know, best friend maybe? Who knows?
Yeah.
How do you think that Alex took to a half a day? How do you think that little Alex took to a half a day of games?
I think he took it pretty good.
Did he say that he enjoyed himself?
Yeah.
Well, that's good. I'm glad that you had a friend over and he was able to play some games and had some fun.
We played Mysterium.
Are we going through our list of games, or are we just talking about CraigCon right now?
What we played with Alex.
Oh, okay. What we played with Alex.
Mysterium.
Uh-huh.
Sushi Go Party.
No.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
No, we did not. Was that it?
No. Scythe.
Scythe. That's the other one.
Mm-hmm. That's it. That's all that Alex played.
I think he enjoyed himself.
And we threw him into 2 crazy games.
And he seemed to handle them, like, pretty good.
Yeah, and he got along pretty well with everybody during Mysterium. So let's talk about, in specific, some of the games.
The game that I played the most, that you've played also more than me,
Oh my
because
gosh.
it's that good.
Yes.
Mysterium.
Mysterium.
I've won every game so far.
As a team.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have not been the ghost because I don't have that much responsibility, and I'm a troll.
I've only won twice. I lost 3 times. I've played this game 5 times.
Yeah.
Does that mean that the game that you
The
only
3
played...
games.
Oh, so you did play 3 games?
Yes. I think you did too.
I've played 5.
You've played 6, I think.
Have I played 6?
I think so.
No, I've played 5 games and I've won 2.
How many have
You
I
have played 3 games and you won 2.
Which one did we lose?
Did
Oh,
you-
the one with...
The very first one.
No.
With Nick.
We won the first one.
No, we didn't.
No, I didn't play with Nick.
Oh, you didn't?
I played 3 games. First 2 times I won. We were playing with Alex and Erin and
Oh.
Chuck and
Uh-huh.
Brandon. And then second time, don't know who we played with. Third time we played with Cliff, Rachel, Brandon,
Uh-huh.
you, and Erin, and me.
And you've won 2 of them. So which one did you loot? We lost the last
The
game.
last one, because
Okay.
it was 2-2 and
Because
1
Cliff was the
was the ghost.
ghost. Oh, man.
It was a troll-free night. It was a troll-free Mysterium.
We didn't do so good with Cliff as the ghost, though.
Nope. But Ben, he used 2 of his crows in, like, the first 2 turns.
But Ben was a really good ghost, though.
He was.
He gave out amazing cards.
I killed someone with a fork.
So tell me a little bit about Mysterium.
Like, explain how to play it, or
Kind
how
of,
does
like-
it work?
There were 2 games that were used to kind of wrap up what Mysterium is all about. Do you remember? What would you say that Mysterium is?
Dixit and Clue.
Dixit and Clue. It's a really good combination.
You said that to Alex, and he was like, "Yep, sold."
I think there was another comparison made, and I don't remember what it was.
Yeah.
Dixit and Clue's probably the best comparison. And one person plays the ghost, they can't talk.
All they can do is
Yep.
knock.
And you have not played the Ghost yet?
No, I have not, and I don't plan to.
Really?
I don't want to be given that much responsibility.
I think that you'd have fun with it. Now, a lot of people say, oh, like a lot of like hardcore gamers, they're like, oh, I only want to play if I'm the Ghost. Oh, I only want to be the Ghost. I've enjoyed both sides of it.
I think I would too. I would too, because like in Codename,
Gosh, I can't believe that this is the thing that you remember and keep doing.
in Codename, I shut up so I can talk. In Codename, I hate being the person giving out the clues because I can't think of that many good clues. But the one that you I think is the best one is Dead 5. It was Mouse, Pyramid, Undertaker, Aztec, and Bomb. And I got 3 of them. That was pretty good.
And we'll talk more about Codename here at the end.
Yeah.
So that's Mysterium. So you really enjoyed it.
Yes.
Tell me about the player side.
The player...
Is it tense? Is it...
Yes, it is very tense. Like, oh, what if I'm wrong? People put their rights on it. So much...
But what's kind of a strategy that we figured out, like, towards one of the very last games?
Towards the very last? It was in, like, the middle game. The second game that I played that we figured that out. Like, if you know what your clue is, place it on the wrong one so people can put their tokens on there and get it wrong so they can move up the tracker and see more cards. I think that's the best strat that we
I think
found.
so too. It feels kind of meta, but I think that it worked out really well for us. Whatever. We cheat hacked the game. Whatever.
Yeah.
I mentioned it in the intro, but I'm going to mention it again now. We're going to have some repeats in the games between our segment and then the segment that I have next with me and Erin. And we have to, Erin and me.
Erin and I.
Nope. And we have to do it in split segments because our schedules have been awful for these several weeks.
Yeah,
So,
and you were just completely wiped out yesterday.
Yeah.
You didn't want to do anything. Cold Express with the same people as Mysterium that we played in the third game.
don't say them again.
Why?
No, just tell me about Cold Express.
Okay.
Django's Dreams.
Yes. Django's Dreams
As Erin calls it.
with 6 people is ridiculous. Because, you have the sheriff moving, everyone shooting each other. I think I had a total of 8 bullet cards, and I had everyone's bullet cards, because I took the one that you gave Cliff to me, just so I could have everyone's. I had like 8 or 9 bullet cards in my deck, and like the last turn, I just was like, yep, nope, passing. Nope, passing. And then, like, the last turn, I just shot someone. Like, it doesn't really matter anymore. Here you go, take my cards.
Well, the worst part about it is you and I just got pooped on all game.
Yeah.
Like, what was your final score?
250.
What was mine?
0.
$0. $0.
And Rachel won
Yes.
with 2020.
No, 2200.
Same thing.
No, it's not. 2020. And
2200.
there you go.
Shut up. I'm not good with math. Math is power, but power is not math. It's words to live by.
I still enjoy it every time.
Yeah, I do too.
I know
I think...
it's Will's most hated game, but...
Oh man, if we're talking about hated games...
Oh, Bomb Squad.
Bomb Squad is Will's.
Yeah.
Yours is Splendor.
Ugh.
Or Shock.
Ugh.
Mine is Blood Rage. Erin's... I don't know what Erin's
Erin
is.
could be one of a million different games.
I think the one that she hated the most was either Suburbia or...
Mission Red Planet.
Yes. Or... It was just up there. I'll think of it.
Okay, you think of it. Next game.
Scythe. Second time playing it, still amazing. By the end, Big Alex had to leave.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to call him that.
Well, I think that's what we're calling him. Big Alex and Little Alex.
Yeah.
Not related.
No.
We have 2 Chucks. We have 2 Alexes now.
We have 2 Craigs.
We have 2 Craigs. Good lord. Okay, so Scythe. You've played 2 games of it now.
2 games. Still love it. By the end, I was playing 2 people's boards because Big Alex had to leave for work.
Go to
or
work.
Something.
Gosh.
Man, I don't have to do that yet. Oh gosh, it's so scary to think about.
So what do you like about it? This is the first time you're talking about it on
It
air,
is.
right?
It
Yeah,
is.
well, you didn't talk about it last episode. We didn't have a last episode. Last episode was a month ago.
Where has time gone? Still love it. It's amazing. Encounter cards.
What do you like about it? Do you like the encounter cards? That's what you like.
Yeah.
What else do you like? Anything else?
That and how the board has like it has the actual layer and then it has a layer above it to fill in all the upgrades and stuff.
And when you take the upgrade, you move one from the
One
top.
cube from the top to the bottom,
Yeah.
which makes it more discounted.
Yeah.
Discountable. That's a new word that I just made up. It sounded better in my head.
Yeah. You should have left it there.
That hurts. Next game. One that I haven't played in like a year and a half. Red Dragon Inn.
It was on your top 10 games of all time list.
It was.
Yeah, do you remember what number?
4.
Number 4?
I think so.
Okay, we'll go with it.
Okay.
If anybody out there wants to fact check us, please send hate mail to @nullmark62021 and tell him how wrong he is. So Red Dragon Inn. We played 6-player Red Dragon Inn.
We did. It was...
Almost 7.
It was Craig, Will, you, and me and Brandon.
That's 5. That's 5.
And then Cliff. No. Wait.
David,
not Cliff.
I don't know why we're doing all this name dropping. No one cares.
Know. I don't care.
So anyway, how was Red Dragon Inn? How long did it last?
Not that long.
How many turns did you get?
Total of about, 4.
I died on turn 2. No, I didn't die. I didn't play a card so that Will wasn't immediately knocked out on his first turn. As repayment, he then immediately started a round of gambling and took 2 of us out with money. So I'd lost on round 2 because I ran out of all of my coins on round 2.
And Brandon was just like, yep.
Ugh.
All the coins.
I think B won. He beat you.
He did.
Came down to you and B.
He did. I still love it. I was playing as Pookie, and he was psychotic for half the game. So I did 4 damage to Will. It's pretty funny. Next game. Dead Last. Oh my gosh. Do you have to be secret about what you're giving your cards about?
Yeah, Dead Last is a new game from Smirk and Dagger, and I'm actually going to talk about it in my next new 100 episode. And it's a social collusion game, I guess?
That's what it says on the box.
Oh, okay. Hey, that was good. I guessed that, and I'm not even looking at the shelf.
Well, first of all, you have to be really secret about your cards, because I tapped David's leg, and his card was in my hand, and I was like... Gosh.
Yeah. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to
convince the rest of the group to kill someone without them trying to know. And then you secretly change your cards so everyone else gets murdered except for you.
Yeah, whoever gets the majority of votes is killed and eliminated from the game.
Unless they play the ambush card.
In which case they get to eliminate one person back.
Yes.
And everybody who didn't vote for the majority dies and is taken out of the round too. Yes. So the rounds are super quick. You're trying to get gold cards and things like that, and it's crazy. I was yawning, showing everybody Chuck's card, and I was so bad at that game.
At one point you were reaching behind Chuck's back,
I also had a card up behind Ben's head who was next to me, his card behind his head, so everyone at the table saw it except Ben, and he looked up and I pat him on the back. I was like, hey buddy, it's good to see you. So you can talk, but you're not really supposed to. It makes the game better if you don't talk.
Yeah.
Because you could just, argue at the table who should be taken out. But it's fun to kind of...
have those creative ways. I was about to message you on Twitter, kill Chuck.
That's funny.
Okay, don't take this segment literally, because you're trying to just,
right. It's a player elimination game.
We've talked about killing people twice. I've killed somebody with a fork. We're all trying to convince each other to kill Chuck. Yeah, no. Don't take this segment literally. Because we're not trying to actually kill someone.
Yes. No. No, we're not.
It's just all board games.
Yeah.
Next game, Descent Campaign.
Just Even though you got to run the app?
Yeah.
I love it.
It's okay.
I love it.
It's not it's amazing, but it's also not this is horrible. I wanna go out and kill someone. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
I'll stop now.
Turning this a Murder Cast 2016. I like it. I like it a lot. I think the app does really nice things.
Yeah. During the tutorial, you guys freaking killed me.
Did we?
Yeah, when I dropped down first, then you guys landed on me. And
well, I was like, all right, someone needs to, one of the 3 of us need to say that we're the first person in. And you were like, I'm the tank, I'll do it. And then they were like, place whoever came in prone on the ground. They are knocked out. And you were like, oh man.
With that face too. It's like the goalies in the World Cup right now.
There you go. Yeah. Olympics.
You can't, whatever it's called. You can't see our faces, but if you go and look at some of the goalies' faces in the the Olympics, if you just look at the goalies' faces, that is what I was doing when it said I was knocked out. Why? I think that's about it that I want to talk about, because the rest of them we've talked about before.
We have not talked about Sushi Go Party.
I think, yeah, I thought we did.
No, last episode we said that we had it and we were going to immediately go play it when we were done.
But we didn't.
We didn't. But we have played it.
Yes.
Many times.
Yes. No, twice.
I've played it many times.
Oh, I've only played it twice. Or 3 times.
Okay, what do you think about it? Does it make the game better? Does it make it worse? Does it change it? What does it do?
It's the same thing about, what did I call it? Descent. It's the same thing about Descent. Like, some of the, like, the tamaki, the tamaki is dumb. Like, if you have the most, you get 3, and if you have...
4.
Yeah.
4 and 4.
And then, like, the
I like miso soup.
Yeah.
It's my favorite.
Wait, what was
if you're
that?
the only one that played it, you get 4 points.
Yeah.
If anybody else played it the same round as you, or the same turn as
Discard.
you, discard them. Such an old-looking guy on the soup.
I think it was tofu. The one where if you have 1, you get 3 points. If you have 2, you get 6. But if you have 3, you get nothing.
Yeah, 3 or more.
That card is dumb. Like, that should be like the Comic Sans card, and we didn't play test this at all. It should just be ripped up.
All right, so the last few things, that's all the games you want to talk about.
Yes.
So the last few things is this week is Gen Con.
No, it's not Gen Con, it's Gen Can't.
For us, it is Gen Can't, because we are in the basement recording.
Yes.
I didn't think that I wanted to go, because last year was
there's way
like a
too many
nightmare, but like I'm sad that I'm not there.
You could have saw Bowser again.
Yes, I could have seen Antoine Bauza, and he came out with a new game called Oceanos, which
Don't
is
tell Erin.
a Bauza drafting game.
Don't tell Erin.
I'm gonna.
No. That's gonna be her next favorite game.
Could be. She loves Bauza drafting games. So, I'm sad that I'm not there with everyone.
Why? Who's all there?
Everybody but me.
And the guys from Boards Live.
All of them. They're not there. Matt's not there. But everybody else is there. Everybody else in the world is there.
I wouldn't say that.
So I don't know. I think that next year I'm going to have to go and work it and get a free badge and room for working it. But I feel like I need to be there.
Yeah.
Because I miss everyone.
I don't want to go. There's way too many people. I would just be like, help me. I don't know what to go.
But you've been to New York at Christmas time.
It was in February.
No, you were there before Christmas.
So November.
Okay, so it gets pretty busy in New York City.
No.
There's people everywhere.
No.
I wish I was there. What else did we say? We said we said something earlier that we said that we were going to talk about later on. Do you remember what it was?
Nope.
Yeah, I don't either.
Oh, the game that Erin hates. Still no clue.
Still no clue. There's something else that we said, oh yeah, we're going to talk more about that at the end of the segment. You don't remember what it was?
Nope.
Yeah, it must have been a lie. Anything else that you want to say before we wrap up?
No. I don't think.
I don't think either. It's safer that way.
I just bought Rainbow Six Siege.
Oh gosh.
I'm about to go play that. Hit me up.
No one will hear this until you have already shut down and gone to bed for days past.
Hit me up. NoMark6202 on Xbox.
Thanks so much for sitting with me, Tyler, and
You're
talking about
welcome.
board games.
You're welcome. I hope you got a good laugh out of this.
See you next week. See you in 2 weeks. Actually, you won't even be on in 2 weeks.
Why?
You won't be on again for a month.
Oh gosh. Not this again.
Well, because I'm gonna do something special for the episode after this. So
Really?
Yeah,
What?
I
Huh?
can't. I'm gonna talk about it in the exit.
Tell me now.
I'll tell you as soon as I stop recording.
Okay, goodbye, people. I love your
Bye.
faces.
Bye.
Bye.
Hello, Rick.
Hi. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
It's just us today
It is.
now.
It is. Well, Tyler and I recorded separately because the past couple weeks have been stupid busy.
Yeah,
And we didn't record since before your grandma's death.
correct.
And even now we're pushing the time limit to get this out.
But I told you I would,
Yep, because you're cute.
and I got up early to do so.
And the main reason why we're recording separate is because you came up with something that you wanted to talk about this episode.
Yes.
And so we're going to lump that in
the first time ever.
Yeah, we're going to lump that in at the end. Not lump, but we're going to put it at the end. Because first, we're going to talk about the games that you played.
Okay. So on CraigCon.
Well, first was did we do anything on my birthday night?
No.
No. Yeah, it was a bad night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can twat us.
Oh, no, we did.
Wait a minute.
Go ahead.
If your family's out there, make your birthday a living heck. You can twat us. We know
Yeah.
all about it.
We do. Every year, someone ruins my birthday.
Yes.
Bringing their drama that they should have left
Then-
with their mama.
People in my family ruin my birthday, but we're awesome on Craig's birthday, which is good.
Let's hope that neither of our families listen to this. Let's be honest.
Yes. Okay.
But we did play games on my birthday.
What? Oh, during the day.
You and I played a game.
Yes.
And then Tyler came home and we played a game before everybody got here.
We've been playing Agricola.
We have.
I used to not like it. And then we got the All Things Big and Small.
All creatures.
Yeah.
Close enough.
And then I decided I do like it because everything that you can't do in All Creatures Big and Small, everything that can't be accomplished can be accomplished in Agricola. So I found out that it really is a quality game.
Yes.
Yes.
It definitely is a quality game.
It is.
It's like in the top 5 on BGG of all time. But I think that you are finally getting it. Like you understand how it works and you understand the rules and how to do everything. But I think that you're getting it.
Yeah, like how to put all the pieces together and optimize my plays.
Right.
The thing that always took me a while, the main thing was like how to plant and then harvest. And I think that was always where the point gap was between you and I. So I started to really get that. And then I started to learn how to get the additional cards, like the fireplace.
Yes.
And stuff like that.
And we're still only playing the family version. Mm-hmm. We're not playing the actual rules yet, like the cards, the minor improvements, and the occupation cards. We're still not playing that because you want to. Last time we tried to play the whole thing, it was like
the game
Meltdown
always
City.
seemed to take a long time, anyways, and I never really appreciated it. And somehow, through time and dedication, I now like it.
Well, you're getting more on this like medium weight Euro kick. And whenever I interviewed Jamie Stegmaier, which was a really good interview, if you haven't listened, you should go back and listen to it. But I told him, I complimented him, I said that Viticulture is the game that really made you appreciate games and like want to dig into heavier things. And Viticulture was after the first time you played Agricola. So the first couple times you played Agricola, it was like, okay, I see how everything's working, but whatever. And then once you played, this is just me speaking, stop me if I'm wrong, but once you played Viticulture, it seemed like that strategy of point A to point B to point C and how all those things line up.
And here's the other thing, like I've always been a pretty good chess player, and it's because you have to think 5 moves ahead. So once I started to implement that into some of my board games, which I don't know why it took so long for me to do, gotten a lot better.
Like ninja better. Like I don't expect that you're going to do it and then you pull out some stupid combo thing that just, makes me...
I've always been a distance runner, quote unquote.
Sit back in my seat and wonder what happened.
Yes.
Most of the early games of Agricola we played, I beat you by like 20 to 25 points. This last game we played, I had 43, you had 37. So you got within 6.
Yes.
And I know that 43 is still not a great score, but, I'm still getting it too. And I really...
Didn't I drop a piece of the game on the floor again?
Yes.
I keep doing that.
Yeah, you dropped one of your fences on the floor,
Maybe
and we don't know...
Maybe we need to build a Trump-type wall around my gaming area so nothing falls.
Good night, everybody.
A playpen of sorts.
Good night, everybody. Yes, you dropped one of your fences on the ground, and we don't know if you dropped it during the game and we're missing one that you could have built.
Right.
Or if we dropped it during cleanup.
But didn't that happen last time with Will, too?
Yeah, that was the Ticket to Ride train that Will dropped on the floor.
Yeah. It's crazy how in your gamer group you can be that close to the people you play with, in score-wise, I mean. Like that good of rivals that a piece would matter.
After that, Tyler came home for my birthday.
And he was nice this year.
He was. Last year was his jerk face year. This year he was super awesome. Mm-hmm. And you two decided that we were going to play...
Oh, Orleans?
We did play Orleans. Are you still liking Orleans?
I love Orleans. Yeah, and it moved much quicker now that everybody knows what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Really knows. Orleans was always a game that would take hours because especially he and I would have to get up. Same with Agricola. But now that...
You and Tyler?
Now that we're getting it...
I didn't enter that play in.
How did you do that? Oh, because everybody was at the door with pizza and ready to eat.
Yeah, and ready to eat. And I didn't enter that in. I think that I won. I think the scorecard's still upstairs.
No, I think Tyler won.
Did he?
Yeah, remember he had all those points all the way past the end of the board?
Yeah, he did.
What kind of points are those?
The book track.
Yeah,
the scholar track.
Well, but basically it's victory points. But he
that's the multiplier.
Coming in from behind or bottom or something and just swooping in.
He did really well that game.
Yeah, and I believe he beat us.
Yeah.
Because he was thrilled.
Good for him.
We stayed patient. We played it. And it went much quicker.
You actually were getting ahead of play there for a little bit.
Like how?
Like Tyler and I were just like going through the round phase where we were drawing the card, and then we were drawing out our people, and you were already like placing people and you're like, are you guys ready? We're like, no, we haven't even hit that phase yet. Your mind was working so far ahead that you were already building up your next turn. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's really nice to see you guys coming along. And I don't mean that in a patronizing way.
Good, because I'd punch you.
Yeah. I'd have to pause so you could walk around the table and punch me.
Family-friendly punch.
Anything else you want to say about that?
Well, again, we got to slow down on the purchasing of games so that we can have time to catch up and really develop some of our games. And even we talk every week, well, we're going to play this week, and then we never do. Like, we've been talking about viticulture forever.
We have.
And Bring Out Your Dead.
Here's the thing, though. It's not that we've been playing other games or newer games that we have. We just haven't been playing. Things have been so busy between Marching Band and You on Midnights and my craziness. I'm actually kind of excited for school to start. And that brings us to CraigCon.
So CraigCon, we started the morning off with breakfast. And then I had worked to 12, and we started the morning off with a game of Mysterium, which I had never played. The thing I have to say about Mysterium is it's all about who your ghost is. But I hate to be hard on the ghost, even though I want to be, because I don't know that I could do much better. The first time we played on CraigCon, that was the first time I played it. I did really well.
I don't remember who the ghost was.
B.
Oh, yeah.
The second time, it's kind of like apples to apples. You have to know, the ghost or your judge.
Right.
And I just didn't.
I don't know who it was that time. Was it Cliff that time?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I just didn't know enough.
Well,
he was
Cliff
kind of
was
obscure, which was interesting.
Yeah, Cliff was a tough ghost. All of us had a tough time.
Except Rachel. A game like that, you have to know your ghost.
And we came up with Tyler and I talked about it, but the strategy on kind of delaying your guesses.
Yes, which it took me a while to catch on to that.
Right. Honestly, because you had worked at 12 and hadn't been to bed yet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which everybody enjoyed teasing me about the second time. Because I was delirious.
I think that you enjoyed it a lot.
Mm-hmm, I did. Second time, not so much.
Because of the ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that I still enjoyed it, that game with Cliff. It was just difficult because we weren't lining up with him at all. Mm-hmm. Even B, who's known Cliff for 20 years.
Yeah. It does let you into somebody's brain, which is interesting. Because I would have thought he would have been not so obscure. I don't know why, but I would have.
And he swore he wasn't trolling us. Because Cliff is king of trolls.
Well, we're all playing on the same team. But in that game, you almost by the end are turning against each other, which is an interesting dynamic.
So you're saying that there's psychological and sociological topics that race within Mysterium?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely am, which will bring us to our topic in a little bit. By the end, you're just trying to guess, and if your team guesses wrong for you, then you're like, screw it, I'm doing it myself. Really interesting. Mm-hmm. That's probably the best part of that game.
I really do think that we could get one, if not both, of the families to play it.
Yeah, but you'd have to be the ghost.
Yeah.
My mom could probably be the ghost if we could get her to concentrate long enough.
But I think Tyler would have to be with us, and Tyler would have to you and Tyler would really have to help them with the rules on the player side. I mean, there's not many rules.
Right.
But they're still kind of new.
Then I went to bed for hours.
Yes.
Then I woke up and talked to my roommate from college for 3 hours.
During CraigCon, mind you.
During CraigCon. And then I came downstairs and played a couple more games before Craig passed out. Didn't we play Sushi Go Party?
Yes. Which we've not talked about on the podcast yet.
Oh, we haven't?
We have not. So this is your chance to say what you think about the game that you wanted to buy and what you liked about it. At least I don't think we've talked about it.
No, I think we just said I bought it with my own money.
Yeah, in the last episode, we were supposed to go and play it afterwards, and it didn't actually happen until the next day.
Well, I love Sushi Go, of course, which we've talked about. You can set it in front of everybody, and it's just a quick, enjoyable, strategic game. A little bit screw your neighbor game, too. It's just fun. It's just cute, whimsical. Love whimsical. So I bought Sushi Go Party because I just wanted some expansions. Love the party. I don't know if we've played with even all the cards yet.
No, we have not.
But
there are definitely some that work better with others, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's all right. It makes it fun. I kind of like when you don't know what to expect when you're pulling out the deck.
True.
Because then you can't be too set in your strategy.
Yeah.
Then it gets boring.
Well, I think Tyler said the only card that really frustrated him was the one that works like pudding, where it's most gets +4 and least gets -4, but it's the one that happens every round.
Mm-hmm. Yes, but then it changes things up, so it's kind of nice.
Yeah, it's
you're an avid Sushi Go player.
That was a super low scoring game.
Yeah,
because many people tied on the low end, and if you tie on the low end, you all lose negative 4
Yeah, you don't
points.
split it. Oh, the one complaint you had about the game was the score pad, the scoreboard.
You want me to go into that beef?
Yeah.
Okay, so companies, and I'll bring this up because Tyler and I just played a game last night that we didn't talk about in our recording because that was a day or so ago that we recorded, but called Saloon Tycoon from Van Ryder Games. And it has the scoring mat where the pawns go on the scoring mat. There's a number on every spot. So you can go, I can quickly go, okay, I have 7, I just gained 9 points, so I know I'm at 16. Boom, 16. Sushi Go Party, Imperial Settlers, so many other games have a scoring area, like the scoring board, where they only put numbers every 5 or every 10.
And here's what I said about this. I agree with Craig for once. I said it's because most people have to count out anyways. Craig does not. He just knows math.
It's so much easier in my mind to go like, okay,
Well,
7
it
plus 9 is
should be.
16, than to count out with
That's how
my
it
terrible
should
memory
be.
going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Right.
counting up to, because I lose count halfway through and forgot what I was doing.
Right.
Oh, it's so annoying. Just put the numbers on your scoring
Yeah, so we talked
boards.
about just putting it on our board, which I think is fine.
I'm just going to write it in Sharpie.
Yeah, I mean, we use it enough. It's our copy. Might as well.
Just going to write it right in Sharpie. I have to write it neatly.
No.
You don't
We
even
love
care?
lefties.
True story.
There's no
There's no
neat.
such thing as neat in left-hand world. I share the same exact thoughts as you. I love the variation that it adds to the game.
And it's so cute and whimsical.
I don't think all combinations work when you're setting up the game, but I think it's interesting to see what kind of
What
strategy
happens.
you can devise with
And it's
different
something you can
variations.
set in front of everybody, which
Right.
is nice.
I agree completely.
Yeah. So we also played, was it on CraigCon we played Seven Wonders?
It was, but I was making dinner, so I didn't play Seven
Oh,
Wonders.
you grilled food. Best burglars ever.
Mm-hmm.
I loved it. How many of us played? 4?
4.
Four.
It was you and
Brandon and Will and Will's cousin,
Craig. That's exactly who it was.
And we've played Seven Wonders with 3 people so many times. It's nice to play with 4.
I've said that so many times, even on this podcast. Whenever the 3 of us talked about Seven Wonders, and Tyler's like, "Oh, I don't want to play Seven Wonders anymore," and I was like, "Just give it another shot, and we'll add another player." All it takes is that one player to
it's
see
because-
cards that we've never seen before.
And I kind of went in and used a different strategy that I never used. I kind of didn't get equipment or resources like you do. Like, that's your strategy usually.
Is to skip resources and just
Right.
go for yellow cards.
Well, I didn't go for yellow, but I skipped resources.
Yeah.
And then I really went for the cities, the black card. And I think I came in, I don't know, we'll look, first or second.
First,
Did I come in first?
Yeah.
Oh, go me.
you won with 69 points.
I had some great leaders, because that's the thing with the leader phase. You don't always get leaders that you end up using depending on the flow of the game. And I think that really gave me a boost. And I think I was able to play without resources, which was stellar because it let me do other things the whole game.
Right.
I didn't even really build, like, you know how you can build off the science and the blue? I didn't even build off those this time, which is one of my normal strategies. I just didn't have to. It was amazing. And we threw Craig right in. With,
Not me, Craig. Other Craig.
with all the expansions except Babel.
'Cause we
threw
don't-
him right into the mix.
Because we don't play Babel.
No, we don't
Sorry,
like it.
Bowser.
We don't like it, Bowser. And I'm the aficionado. So
He beat Will.
he did. Well,
came in
Will
third.
helped him. Will did help him, which was nice. That was nice. He sat with him and helped him through most plays. And then by the end, he started to get it.
And we saw Will.
And we saw Will. Love Will. Missed Will. The other thing I loved was that's the first time I've gotten to play since the app has been updated and fully expanded.
Oh, they did update the app.
Yes, I can't believe I didn't tell you that. We've been waiting for that forever. It's completely uploaded and expanded.
Even with all the Babel stuff.
Yeah. Well, I don't know because we didn't play Babel, but I believe so because you can hit which expansions you're playing with.
Oh, okay.
We'll have to look at it
But
tonight.
it even had like the promo
Yes.
leaders.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah, it was fabulous, and the graphics are all updated. It's really user friendly to like set up your scoring and your game, so that was good because we've been waiting for that. And like I said, it's my favorite game, and I just don't get to play it enough. So
I'm glad you got to play it. So that brings us to the last game that we played that night because Craig was super sleepy.
Cacao, we played Cacao that
We
night.
did.
And I was sleepy too. I don't love Cacao. It's okay. It's a nice time filler. It's quick. I don't love it.
Well, we played 4 players.
Yeah, it's all right. That's all.
I love it.
I know, I don't. It's not bad. I don't mind it. But I'm not like, that game.
The last game is we got to play a 6-player game of
Colt Express.
Django's Dreams.
Django's Dreams. which is what I call it. It was good. I came in second. I got all the loot.
I got $0.
Yes, you had a stellar $0, and Tyler had a stellar $250. Rachel only beat me because Rachel is B's girlfriend, because she did all her bullets, and I missed all my bullets by 1. Otherwise, I would have beaten her by a landslide.
Still love it.
Yeah, I do.
And you still keep telling me that we need to buy.
Oh my gosh, we do.
There's 2 expansions.
Well, I want the Back to the Future.
And there's a Stagecoach expansion.
Nah, just Back to the Future.
Okay. So that's it. That's been a month of gaming, sadly.
Yes. Well, it's summertime.
If it wasn't for CraigCon, we would have gotten no games in for a month.
It was your birthday, and we were swimming a lot, and, I got called in a bunch this time.
So that brings us to what you wanted to talk about.
Well, what I wanted to talk about goes back to Mysterium, kind of. Okay, so I was really tired, and also I'm a girl. So during Mysterium, everybody kind of started to assert themselves. You have to remember you're working together, and sometimes that's difficult to do. It almost made us start fighting, which was really interesting because, to be honest, I don't always think that some do, but games don't try and evoke these kind of things the way that literature does. Literature is meant to evoke all these kinds of interactions and thoughts. Games are generally not meant to do that, but it was really socially interesting how you had to decide, okay, we're going to work together, but then there was always that pool to just screw everybody and do what you wanted. And from a female standpoint, I was taking it personally, especially because I was tired. I realized that and especially guys, but you just don't. You leave it on the table. Nobody was mad at me at the end of the game, and I didn't have to be mad at anybody. And I wanted to be, but it's just not. You could just play, you just get competitive and you're in the game. And I think that's the one thing I kind of appreciate about being friends with guys. It's not personal. It's competition or the role that you're in at that moment.
So let me question you on a game of Evolution that we played a while ago. And that game made you so angry because you felt that you were being picked on in the game that you almost swore off games for a little bit and definitely swore off one of the people at the table for a little bit. Looking back, does it look more like competition and the competition at the table, or does it still look like...
No, I think I mentally know that it probably wasn't personal. I mean, I know. Okay, I do. Not probably. It wasn't personal. But there's a certain amount of respect you have to have when you come to a table and not pick on the person who doesn't know what they're doing. Just because you could kill my animal doesn't mean you should. Because I had no chance to play. I have no really idea how the game even runs because I didn't get a chance to do anything. Mm-hmm. And that alone pisses me off. Mm-hmm. I'm getting heated talking about it. And I think being a family
honestly,
house,
you get heated all the time when you start speaking passionately, so... It's that fiery Irish in you.
It is. But I have no idea even what the game actually does. I never had the chance.
Right.
And I don't appreciate that. Right. And anytime anybody's done that to Tyler, or it's just not polite to steamroll somebody, at least not in this house.
Yeah.
You love that game. Jose, my best friend, loves that game. And I don't even ever care to see it again. And it did. It has that emotional. And like I said, mentally, I know he didn't do it on purpose. But it's not polite. So I think, maybe there's even a difference between gaming etiquette and... Because gaming etiquette and Mysterium would be, we're fighting, let's remember we're a team, and let's leave it at the table. So there's some gaming etiquette that's kind of unspoken.
Do you think that also falls into the realm of the social contract whenever you enter the table?
Even with old-fashioned games like Monopoly or Apples to Apples or a lot of these things, even like Spades or... something like that. If you agree on a house rule, or if you vote on it as a group in the middle of the game, which remember that's what pissed your mom off or pissed you off about. Craig's family's game is Canasta. And we love Canasta. He loves Canasta. But the one day his mom was just trying to make rules and say they were family rules, and they weren't, and the family didn't agree.
Well, the family, all the generation above us agreed.
Yeah.
That's the way my grandfather played it.
Yeah.
But it was, not to get too specific, in the game...
his advantage.
Well, in the game, you draw and then you play, and they had this weird rule to where if this was the case, you could play and then draw. Well, no, that's not the way games work.
No. And none of us are
And
okay
just
with
because
that.
my grandfather did it, who was a known cheater, doesn't mean that it's the way the game is played.
Mind you, we come from generations of grandpa cheatings. And my dad does it, and my grandpa did it, and my great-grandpa did it, and I think Craig's grandpa definitely did it. I can totally see him doing it.
Oh, yeah. Sneaky. He called it being sneaky.
Yeah, sneaky. Yeah, exactly. That's what my family, So it's kind of like when I played that one game and kept stealing money while nobody was looking.
Oh, Sheriff of Nottingham.
Yeah, I mean, it's a sneaky game anyway, so I just...
Jeez. Do you think that it's because you are okay, this is going to feel totally weird and come out wrong, and I don't know how to address it so we can get into it comfortably. Do you think that it's because you are a female mostly sitting at the table with guys that either you are feeling picked on or that people are picking on you because you're a female? Is there...
No,
There were two parts to that. Either you are feeling that way because you're a female, or they are picking on you because you're a female.
No, neither of those.
Okay.
I mean, no, I don't even think I was feeling that way because of female, although I am super sensitive. I think it's that social contract. Like, I play with my husband, and, for example, the main people I play with are Will, Chuck, and my husband. And they're my favorite people to play with. It's because I can sit down and be an equal member of the group. They're going to help me learn something. So when I come to the table, that's what I expect. So if that's not the group mentality, then I don't want to be a part of that group, which is why I swear off certain gamers.
Those are the people I usually ask not to come back.
Yeah. And that's the culture of our house. You know what I mean?
You forgot to mention Tyler in there.
What about Tyler?
You said the main people you game with are me.
Oh, yeah. I mentioned... Well, Tyler, he doesn't help me per se.
Yeah.
I'm just mean like... Will
that's
and
what
Chuck
I wanted you to address.
Yeah. He doesn't help me. He kind of trolls and...
So do we, as a couple who are raising a gamer, need to make him more aware of that?
Yes. It's hard to do when you're 14 and an only child, too. You know, like, he wants to feel important and, like, he knows stuff. And often there's always, there's a little bit of a power struggle. So... We're just dragging our dirty laundry right out into the air. So, and there are factors that go into that, but that's what it is. But some of it is being male with your testosterone developing and being 14 and being an only child. But normally I just tune it out.
So, at the table, if there is a point in which you've reached an uncomfortable situation, like in evolution, we'll just bring it back to that. There's a point in which you've reached an uncomfortable situation. How are some ways I
kept trying. I kept saying this isn't working. I can't do anything. And everybody's going, oh, well, you're the only one he can eat, blah, 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 blah. Well, that's fine, but I'm not even learning the game right now.
Right.
What? And then I don't know the game enough to know what are my counterattacks.
Right.
And everybody's too busy doing their own thing in a hardcore game. So unfortunately, I am a little bit slower on the uptake of a lot of these games. There's that piece of me that gets really annoyed when Rachel comes over and just picks it up. I'm glad because she's a great match for Brandon. That makes me very happy. But I think that's how I operate in life. I have to see the whole picture before I can truly understand something. Like when I used to take math or chemistry, I had to see the answer before I could pick it apart and understand how it worked. And that's how this is. I have to see the game in order to go back and develop strategy. So I think that's why I'm even starting to come into my own. You know, I can't win a 100-meter dash. That's the other thing. I used to be a runner, but I could run and outrun anybody and just keep going. And my job's the same way. It took me a while, but now I'm head and shoulders above everybody else. So, so that gets frustrating. So I just don't appreciate in my own home not being able to take part and have a little bit of understanding. And the person, like I said, they weren't intentional. They're very good at games, and they are honestly socially backward. They have no understanding of these social dynamics.
Right. And it wasn't, and I'm not defending anyone. That's the word I'm looking for. Malicious. And like I said, I'm not defending one side or the other.
It's just when I come to learn a game, or I come to the table, and that's what you and I were just talking about this morning. Like, we want people to feel welcome at our table.
Right.
And anybody who likes to steamroll people or be ignorant is not welcome. And we've had a few. And
they don't come around anymore.
No. We make it kind of either get on board or leave.
Right. Exactly. We've taken two new-ish kind of approaches to this. And again, I'm treading all of this very carefully. Yes, you're a little slower on quote-unquote getting games. But once you get them, I can't beat you at them. Mm-hmm. The challenge is, and has always been, getting you to that point. Mm-hmm. So you and I kind of subconsciously, consciously, unconsciously, while I was in a coma, have come up with a few kind of different ways that we've been doing this.
You and I have had to work at it, which kind of opens up a
We've had to work.
New can of worms.
Yeah. That's been a learning experience on how to even learn.
It's a different topic.
Yeah. So we've come up with that I can think of, two kind of newer approaches that seem to be, like I said, they could be completely subconscious, that seem to be working semi-well, which is the first time we play a new game, we say, okay, we don't care what happens. We have to completely shut off competitive side.
Which is hard for us.
And we have to play it just straight through. And not like me sitting here telling you the rules. No. It's like, okay, on your turn, you're going to do one of two things.
And I had to very much learn, this is opening up so many topics, but I had to very much learn to just not care. Just play. It's okay. Yeah. I can make a mistake or whatever. Just play. Don't care. Disconnect myself.
Earlier, it used to be me sitting and explaining the rules, you getting frustrated.
Because I couldn't concentrate.
Us playing the game.
How things work.
Us playing the game, me kind of walking on eggshells, not knowing what I should say to help you, and you making a mistake in playing and me making a mistake in teaching, and both of us walking away from the table really frustrated. So the first one is we've just started, whenever we put a new game on the table or something that we haven't played in a long time, we're just like, okay, we're just going to do this. And whatever happens, happens, because we're going to still enjoy the experience. One or both of us are going to make horrible mistakes. It's going to be fun, and we're just going to do it. And the second thing is that, and I lost it already, so apparently it wasn't important. But one of the other things I thought of was kind of like the end. I always tell you right when we start a game is, this is exactly what you need to win. This is how you win. In Agricola, you're trying to get as many of all of the different things as you can. And then we'll work backwards and see how we do that. In Mysterium, Mysterium was a different story completely.
Though, it took me a while to catch on because I didn't understand how to win. And let's be honest, I do want to know how to win.
Right. But Mysterium, it's impossible to tell somebody how to win at the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, we need to play this game in two phases.
Well, and you don't understand how the points work so that you can look at the end cards.
Right. Like I said, just like right off the bat, I put a game on the table and I say, okay, this is, if I were to put Saloon Tycoon on the table that Tyler and I played yesterday, I would put it on the table and say, okay, victory points wins. You get them by getting people, finishing buildings. Done. And then we would work backwards from, okay, how do you build those buildings? Right. Okay, well, let's take a turn and see how we do that. This is terrible. Like I said, I'm totally, like, my feet are off the ground because I feel like I'm going to step on something and break it. It seems like I'm being childish. Like I'm teaching, this is terrible. It seems like I'm teaching grade school, but after the first time and breaking it down into those simple parts, into the smaller parts, then you cream me and I have no chance of doing anything ever again.
Well, I mean, it really is like Steve Madden. What's his name? John Madden?
Sean Madden?
You gotta score points to win the game.
Right.
So you gotta tell me how to win the game, and by golly, Angora, I'm gonna do it.
We started out talking about teasing, and we ended up in learning styles, but I think that we talked about some interesting things.
Well, it is a social thing.
Right.
Being able to come to the table, and also being able to just not take it freaking personally. None of it. It's supposed to be fun, you know?
Which we've both had to learn.
Yeah.
I remember, here we go. Here's a blast from the past. Do you remember a little card game that I got from Origins about 7 years ago called Nuts, where you played as squirrels? Do you remember that our relationship almost did not survive that game? Because both of us were so competitive at that point in time. Like, I was so competitive at one point in time, my family were, like, if we had a big family gathering, they would refuse to play with me.
I was there for it.
Taboo? No one will play Taboo with me. Categories? Nobody in my family will play categories with me. And this was like the family party game central, you know? No one would play with me because I was a competitive tool. And I had to fix a lot of that because I wanted to garner a gaming group. I wanted to promote the hobby because I love it so much.
Well, and, you know, it's just kind of growing up or, you know, cultivating that kind of atmosphere.
Right.
We do want to be a house where people are welcome, and
it's not about winning. It's about having fun, I think.
We opened up so many topics. That are really deep and philosophical, but that's how Craig and I are.
Honestly, you're my wife. You're not going anywhere, I hope, even though you've got like a week left on your lemon law.
Oh, yeah. We'll be married 5 years on Friday.
Yeah.
Craig says I have lemon law till then.
Anytime you want to do this again and come back and talk about something else, you're more than welcome to.
Yeah, but do people want deep and philosophical?
Yeah, people love deep and philosophical. People love hearing women's voices in the hobby. And people like you because I like you. Well, not just because I like you. They like you because you're a nice, fresh perspective. Last question. Why'd you make a Twitter account?
Time to get with the times.
That works for me. The last thing that I will say before we end this is Gen Con was this past week,
Correct, Mundo.
and we did not go to Gen Con.
We did not.
But we participated in Gen Cant.
Yes.
All three of us, actually.
Oh, and you and I won.
And you and I won a raffle prize.
So thank you.
I won...
Something, and I won something else.
Yeah, you won the second game in the Titans of Gaming series from Calliope, and I won, I don't know what it's called, but it's something about crying with clowns. It's a card game like Tears with Clowns or something like that, and it's kind of terrifying. It's probably going to Cliff. But thanks, Gen Cant. We won. We did stuff.
Okay.
Tyler didn't win. All he wanted was junk art. That's it.
That's all. Bye.
Thanks, La. And that wraps up another episode of the Botch Games Podcast. Thank you so much for listening. If you want to reach out to any of us on the show, the best way to do so is on Twitter. You can find Erin at IrishMist1123. You can find Tyler at nullmarks, that's KNULL, marks 62021. You can find Will at Will Hapney, HAPPNEY. And of course, I run the main account at Botch Games. We're also on Facebook as Botch Games. We're on Instagram, which I'm very active on, as Botch Games. You can go to BGG Guild number 2197 and start a conversation there, and I will gladly join in. It's not so good at starting, really good at participating. Also, you can send an email directly to botchgames1@gmail.com, or, thanks to the generous donation of my only listener, Steve, you can send an email directly to craig@botchgames.com, and it will just magically appear in my mailbox. Apparently, there's going to be an actual website someday, so that'll be fun as soon as I figure out how to make a website, because I don't know how to do that. Or you can go to botchgames.wordpress.com, which is the repository for all of the podcast episodes. Lastly, if you'd be so kind, leave a rating on iTunes or Stitcher, and it'll help the show become more visible. More than anything else, even just leaving a few stars on iTunes will help the show gain more notice, and that's, as you heard in the intro, kind of what it's all about right now. And tell a friend. If you like this podcast, you want other people to listen to a podcast about a family talking about games and the games that they played and, all that kind of stuff, tell a friend to check us out. Other than that, that's going to wrap up episode number 53. As I said in the intro, we will be on vacation next week and not be around so much. But episode number 54 will release on time. It is already recorded and ready to go. It is the obligatory role-playing game episode. One of the biggest hobby things that I do, aside from board gaming, is role-playing. I've been role-playing a very long time. I'm in an active role-playing group. And I wanted to spend an episode talking about the main focus of the early parts of this show were intro games and how to get people into the hobby. And I just wanted to kind of talk about some of my favorite role-playing games to bring people into role-playing. I know it's not technically what the show is supposed to be about, but role-playing is as much a social experience as board gaming is. Almost more so, because you're doing collaborative storytelling. And those are the games that I want to focus on during the obligatory RPG episode, is storytelling games. Games that you can play after you've played games like But Wait, There's More, or Snake Oil, or even games like, even a game like Codenames. It's something that you can take that social aspect, that party game feeling, and assign some rules to it and tell a story together. So that's going to be episode number 54, and that'll release on time. And then next week at some point, even though I'll be out of the country, numbers 6 through 10 on the new 100 is going to release. So I hope that you enjoyed that. Other than that, it's been fun. I will see you guys on the flip side. Have a great one.